What's up, Bulls Nation? Welcome to the brand new Bulls on Tap podcast. I'm your host, Derek, and of course, I'm here with my co-host, Miss Melissa. Missy, what's going on?
What up, y'all? We are back. Yes. Back like Zoe. Let's get it.
No, not kidding, because Lonzo was back. A lot of people thought we would never see him on the court again, but he's here, and he still looks like Lonzo Ball.
That's the best thing about that is that he had so many people counting him out. Stephen A. Smith. So many people counting him out saying he would never hoop again, and he just knew he was going to be back. I was not, I was a little unsure myself. Like, I hope that he's okay. I hope he gets to hoop one day. But to see him come back in the fashion that he has, still playing high-level hoop, obviously you're never going to lose your hoop IQ. Playing defense the way he was, moving the ball the way he was, just that court vision, you're never going to lose it. So he may have lost a little bit of his speed, or maybe he's just testing the waters, but it's really great to see him back in the way he is, back in general, but the way he was playing yesterday, yes. It's great.
Yeah. I don't know if he lost his speed. You saw him out there diving for the loose ball, saving it from going out of bounds, help defense, block on Gobert. I mean, he looked like Alonzo to me. He looked like he could play more than those like 4 or 5 minutes since that they got him on for that minutes restriction right now.
Yeah. Man, that when he dove for the ball into the bench, one of my favorite parts of the game. Just knowing that he was confident enough to do it. It was really funny seeing all the team on the bench too, like going to brace his fall in case he were to fall. But just to know that he was confident enough to do that instinctively, that was a really great sign. It was great.
I have not been hyped for any moment in the Bulls game since Lonzo was last playing than when he jumped out of bounds to save that ball.
Period.
It's like he's not even thinking about he just came back from a knee surgery. He's just going out there and hooping.
Mm-hmm. It was cool that what his ovation that he got too when he checked in for the first time. Shout out United Center, everybody that was there. He deserved that after almost 3 years of not being on a basketball court in a game in the NBA. Amazing. And he knocks down a 3 right away.
When they entered, they gave him like a full introduction when he was checking this. Shout out to Tim Sinclair because we haven't heard him call Lonzo Ball's name in like over 2 years. So it was just a feel good moment for like Bulls Nation as a whole.
Period. It was just really good to see him. I mean, the whole offense is going to look completely different. It's going to look like it was supposed to look a couple years ago. That was the whole plan with AK. We're not going to give AK too much credit yet, but seeing him back on the floor, seeing all that ball movement, pushing the pace, just seeing everybody moving. Like Zoe has always been great with his off-ball movement too, so that creates a lot of opportunities for others to get open, to create spacing. People are cutting, and that translates to defense too. When you're not sitting there stagnant on offense, waiting for a ball, you just get cold. So if everybody's constantly moving, you keep that same energy when you hit the other side of the floor too. So we're seeing a lot of transition again also, which is awesome. There were a lot of assists yesterday too. And I'm going to credit that mostly to Zoe's time on the floor because it makes all the difference when you're not sitting there stagnant. And of course, you know how much I love DeMar. I love DeMar. I'm so crushed that he had to leave us, but it had to happen. DeMar is a G. Like, he is just super dependable, super reliable, but his style of play it didn't really fit with what the Bulls were trying to do. But he had to do what he had to do because we couldn't really count on anybody else to make anything happen on offense. Until Kobe came along and just ascended straight to the stars. Other than that, we had DeMar doing what he had to do because that's all we could do. But we miss him. But now that he's gone, you're seeing people moving because of Zoe and Kitty.
And No, the Lonzo effect is not just fast-paced offense; it's getting people to put an effort on defense.
Mm-hmm.
Vooch had 3 steals yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Vooch.
Do we have Magic Vooch back? Is it too early?
Hey, he hit 2 of his 3 threes yesterday too. It
Who
may
is that
be.
man?
We may have found Nikola Vucevic. Vucci Mane is back.
Listen, I got to revive that meme. Yeah, he just completely fell off the face of the earth last season, but I know it's very early, but seeing Vooch yesterday was very refreshing. Again, yeah, seeing him move was enough to me. That was enough for me. So I love that. And considering we have a team of 10,000 guards, we need Vooch to be solid.
Definitely, but even Vooch's backup was very solid yesterday. Jalen Smith was out there balling in the minutes that he got.
Yep. He had like 10 points, 10 points, 8 boards, 2 or 3 assists or something like that.
Yeah, I
Like
think
he's
he
doing what
played
he's
like
supposed to
15
do.
minutes,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yep. He's doing what he's supposed to do. We love that.
Neil C. Red UK says, "Good to see you both back."
Hey.
Hey, see you soon at the UC, man.
You and your kiddo. I can't wait. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for tapping in. When comments pop up, we will read them. Can you see the comments?
Let me see. This is a little new to you. I can see.
Okay, there.
Oh,
Just put it on the screen. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so seeing that off-ball movement is just the team is just flowing really nicely. It's like he never left. He just fit right back in and everybody is just feeding off of his energy. It's great. Even like seeing him on the bench, he just looks so happy to be back. There was a shot that the Bulls posted too on Twitter when he was being guarded by 2 defenders and he just it seemed like he had a smile on his face. It might have been just an expression, but he looked like he was super happy to be back. I couldn't be happier for him. I feel like we could just talk about Zoe the entire episode. I'm just really happy.
Steven, what's up, man?
All the way from who even knows? Somewhere in Arizona. Oh.
Okay, YouTube. I'm not sure.
So how are we going to watch these games? Let's talk about that. You have no problem watching them.
Yeah, it is crazy to me that I'm all the way in DC and I'm just watching the games on League Pass, but people in Chicago, if you're not a DirecTV subscriber or you didn't buy an antenna, you can't watch Bulls games.
I've been trying to hold out on buying an antenna for the longest time because I'm like, hopefully they work out a deal, but we got a CHSN tweeting at everybody to go help them nudge Xfinity. Like, you want us to do your jobs for you? Y'all can't work out a deal? We did all that for what?
Yeah, Alonzo Anderson says the antenna isn't that bad.
Let me complain a little bit, okay? Because this is a minor convenience for me. Thanks for talking, Lonzo.
Like, yeah, if you didn't see the tweet put out by CHSN, it was telling you how to call or contact Comcast and demand that they carry that channel. And it's really like Jerry really said, get somebody else to do it.
Put us on the payroll, or at least get us cup holders.
Yeah, that would be a fair trade. It will help you get broadcasting rights if you put cup holders in the United Center.
Okay, so how did you like seeing Zach back on the floor?
YouTube chat's working now. Hey, Zach looked like 2-time All-Star Zach, and the fast-paced style really fits his game. I really feel like talent-wise, I would like Zach to stay on this team. But money-wise, I don't think that AK and Jerry want Zach to stay on this team.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, at the very minimum, he's going to play his butt off, and he'll be able to do so with this newer style of play. Well, the style of play that was intended for him a couple of years back when they made all these trades. Um, so for me, I'm just really excited to see him play this season. It's been cool seeing him work off of Giddy and obviously off Zoe again. People really forget what a prolific scorer he is. I wasn't so thrilled with him last season because he obviously just didn't want to be here. But I never ever forgot about the fact that he is a pure hooper, a pure scorer. There are things that, of course, he needed help with on his game, but this style of play really works for him. So it's really great to see all of this happening again with the fast paced style of play and some actual ball movement. People are actually cutting again, thanks to Zoe. He's just always moving off ball. It's really great to see Zach kind of back in his element. And he did mention that he was like bought into this season. So he even met with Billy in the off season.
Yep. Steven says, could already have a solid return for Zachary, according to reports, if AK and company move with urgency. So are we talking about that rumor that's popped up about the Kings being interested in Zach? Moore says AK urgency. Because I know I saw the Kings rumor, but I don't think they have the money to get Zach unless they would be sending us back DeMar. Also, I don't think Zach wants to go on the team with DeMar again.
Yeah, that's definitely not happening. But yeah, it would be nice if AK actually did something with that, considering we let all of our talent and everything rot that we could have traded last season. Everything just depreciated. It would be cool if they actually made a move. Imagine that.
I mean,
Bulls West.
Yep. Bulls West, the Kings, plus Houston winning Zach bad last season. I also saw, of course, the Lakers being interested in Zach. When that report comes out, like
He's fit really good with the Lakers. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. We gotta offload him. Hopefully there's like a good deal for him and AK does what they're supposed to do. Because he's gonna be playing his butt off this season. This is gonna be the best we're gonna get in return for him. They gotta do it. Hopefully they make a move. Hopefully they get an offer and AK actually makes a move. Or
are we sure the AK is awake right now? Like we traded Caruso for Giddy straight up.
Yeah.
You
know how I felt
turned down 2 second-round picks for Andre Drummond and just let him walk. So we sure AK's paying attention?
Nope. Let all of our assets depreciate. But hey, we're here now.
Hey, your guy Sammy, what up, yo? Shout out Melon Derek. What's going on? Thanks for tapping in. Yes. But yeah, I mean, in this trade for Giddy, who is supposed to possibly be the point guard going forward, I know they've already said they want to approach him about extension talks.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's one game, but the offense last night looked better with Lonzo than it did Giddy.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a matter of seeing how sturdy Lonzo is too, though, because we really just don't know. I know we're just still kind of testing him out to see how he does. No back-to-backs. Back-to-backs are ruled out. So I wonder how long this is going to be like a minute restriction, game restriction. Do you have any idea? I don't know if that's just through preseason or they're just going to play it game by game, but I know for right now there's no back-to-backs, which is obviously the smart thing to do. And did you see his knees are all iced up last night after the game? So
Yeah, I think from what Billy had been saying is since nobody's ever come back from this type of surgery, it's uncharted territory, so they're just gonna see how everything goes. I know they had a light practice today. They said Zoe was out there for the light practice, and with all intention, he's going to be playing tomorrow too.
He's playing with a chip on his shoulder, and again, that's like the best. This is like the best comeback story I've ever seen. With all the people, all the people that have been counting him out again. Just
hey, he told you, Stephen A. He don't know you, but he likes you. He's coming back, and now he's back.
That's it. You just gotta give him a lot of props for that. How strong you have to be mentally to come back from an injury that nobody's ever come back from before. Imagine all of like the battles you've gone through, and especially reading stuff online and hearing all the things that you do through national media and so forth. Major shout out to him. And he didn't play scared whatsoever. He was just right back on the court, ready to go.
None. He had no fear jumping for loose balls and
into the bench.
He played like Lonzo. He was hooping. You know, shout out my man Morris is shouting out Steven here for taking over the Suns podcast.
Congratulations.
Keep doing it.
Chicago lost a lot of talent, man.
Since Alonzo was flawless last night.
Absolutely flawless.
Definitely. He looked like Lonzo. He's knocking down threes. He's got people moving to the right spot. He's pointing Zach like, go that way.
So are we going to be like too good? I'm kind of worried about that. Not going to lie. I'm a little worried that we might be a little too good.
Yeah, definitely. And the dive for the loose ball.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
A telltale sign, not only for Zoe, but probably for this team. We're going to be too good to be bad.
That's what I'm saying. He dove for that. He was like fearless when he dove for that. Like didn't even think about it. It was instinctive. So like I was talking to you about earlier, Derek, that loose ball that Steven's talking about, that was something. I was so happy to see that because he was not apprehensive whatsoever. It was just second nature to him. And it was funny to see the bench just all go to like brace his ball in case he fell. Thankfully he didn't fall, but he was cool. And that block on the help defense, he's still always going to have his defense. He's always going to have his IQ. He's always going to have his court vision. So I can't talk about him enough. Like, we're so lucky to have him back.
Well, you said the bench was there to brace his fall. Like, the main person there bracing his fall was Kenny Lofton, who got waived earlier. So we do thank you for that contribution to the Bulls cold. And making sure Lonzo was safe.
That's cold. Him and Batum get waived. What are your thoughts on that?
Batum got waived. Morris says, well, the Bulls lost the lead in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
True, but that lineup was like a lineup you were not going to see. It had THT and Javon Carter on the floor at the same time.
Javon actually hit some buckets. What?
He had a clutch shot.
The clutch shot. You know what? I was at Denard Brothers like a lot of days over the summer, and Javon was there playing, and he was hooping his butt off at the Denard Brothers Pro-Am. Shout out to Denard Brothers. Him and Javonte played. And yeah, they looked great. Granted, it's a completely different level of play, but they both looked really great on the floor. And Javon was hitting a ton of shots at the Denard Pro runs, but it was cool to see him do it in a Bulls uniform.
Neil, you just talk about this. It says, if Zoe sustains this level of play, how many more games do we win as a result? How does this affect the draft situation?
We're gonna be like, I don't know, like 32 games, you think, maybe, possibly? But we're gonna lose
I'm like,
we're gonna lose it.
before last night, I had us winning like 35.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Really?
yeah, I
Before
had us
last
winning
week.
35.
You are optimistic.
I mean, we got to play the Wizards 4 times, the Hornets 4 times, Pistons 4 times. Like, it's teams that are not as good as the Bulls, and that doesn't count the West Coast teams that are tanking as well. So I had us like 35 wins. It could be more than that now, and I got some bad news if you were
Hoping
hoping
to
we could
tank for
capture on the
future.
flag, because I don't know about that.
Yeah. It's not happening. I don't even think we're gonna be bottom 3 or 4. But it's okay. It'll be fun to watch them. They can, as long as they let the young guys play and let them develop like we're supposed to. I mean, this is supposed to be setting it up for the future. So, yeah, but that tank situation, I think that's dead. You
Yeah,
just is that bye bye.
when you have the Wizards and Pistons and the Nets in the league, you're never going to be bottom 3.
Period. That is a fact.
Clippers are probably about to hand the flag to OKC. Um, yeah, that news came out earlier about Kawhi being out indefinitely to start the season.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they need a shooting guard. Just maybe. I don't know what they would have to offer, but they definitely need help.
Somebody said can live with being in the bottom 10, just can't lose any more draft picks. As if we haven't lost enough draft picks. Goes hand in hand with the Bulls.
Hey, I mean, if we do end up losing the draft pick, at least we own all of the other ones. It's just, you know, Cooper Flag is supposed to be very special. I don't know. The 2026 draft, aren't Boozer's kids supposed to be in the draft?
I don't know the answer to that, but I can look that up. Is it 2026?
I think it would be 2026. Steven says, y'all see any other trade candidates to leave the Bulls? This could bring back talent this season aside from Zach. I was gonna like from the start. I assumed that they would try to move Zoe as an expiring, but I don't think that they're going to do that. Especially after rocking with him for the last 2.5 seasons to let him get right, and now he's coming back, and I don't know if he plays well enough where he kind of holds up most of the season. They might see if they can sign him for cheap. Trade candidates, I would hope that they're trying to find somebody to take Javon Carter and Torrey Craig. Samity says yes.
It's 2026, by the way. I just
2026 Booze Cruise.
Yep, 2026. I just got done looking it up.
I mean, so hey, maybe if we happen to be too good this season,
I think we are going to be too good, to be honest. Too good, but not, not, not good enough, but too good to not be bad enough to get anything.
Too good to be.
We're going to lose. We are going to lose.
Too good to be too bad, or no, too bad we're going to be too good. Either way you look at it. But I don't know. Maybe we can get on that booze cruise in 2026.
I have like zero expectations for this team, and I think that's what makes it fun. Is just because it's a brand new team and everybody's young, and I feel like that's why it's been so fun to watch them in these 2 games only. But I think that's how I feel about it. I think they're just out there having fun playing, just playing. especially with like Matas's energy has been really cool to see too. Like he's so fearless, seeing that dunk on Giannis, and him being on that defensive assignment on him was really cool to see too. Even though he just kept getting called for fouls, it's just really cool to see that happening too. He's not scared. He's not scared of a moment, but he will learn very quickly what it's like to be in the NBA. But I'm just happy that he's fearless. He's got to bulk up a little bit. But how do you feel about him? How do you think he's been playing?
I've loved everything about Modest's game, especially on the defensive end. He's moving his feet. He seems to know where he should be. Of course, going against Giannis, that's a hard job for anybody, especially a rookie. And no, he's a rail right now. Like he hasn't put on NBA level weight. So to go against a freight train like Giannis, who just charging in on everybody, I mean, he tried to do his best. Definitely show he's not scared of anybody because he put it on Giannis's head with the poster. And no, all he has to do is fine tune his shot. And I think he will get help with that from Peter Patton, who Julian Phillips is credit to helping his shot. And Julian has been shooting lights out this preseason.
He's been fun to watch. He's got a 3. Oh my gosh. And we already loved how he played in general, just his aggressiveness and just willing to throw his body around too. He's just all over the floor. But now he's got a shot too. He's got a 3 ball. I love him. He's great. He's only going to get better. It's that type of mentality to just always want to go out there and grind and do the little things and not stop moving. Obviously, he's a lot younger too, but just to see him out there and developing his game how he has been really cool to see. So there's like no limits for him. I just love every time he steps on the floor. The energy is just different when he steps on the floor.
The question is Julian who we hoped Pat would be?
Yeah, a lot of people who we hoped Pat would be. I don't really have anything new to say on the Pat front, but I did like how he played yesterday, at least crashing some boards. I did like that. But and then that 3 in the corner was nice to see because he wasn't thinking about it. He just popped it and he made it. Usually he's like, you can see him thinking, you can feel him thinking, you can like hear his brain moving, but he just popped it and hit it. So that was cool to see. But definitely would love to see more of that from Patrick. But this is really nothing. This is really nothing new. We could go back to our pods from 2 years ago, and it's kind of the same thing. So I hope that he's come out of this off season with a little bit more fire and more confidence. He's like almost one of the vets now. So he's got to definitely step it up. All we need him to do, like always, is just to be aggressive and just trust himself. Just hoop. He forgets his size. He forgets his athleticism. I don't even know. But I'm hoping for a much better effort from Patrick this season. But I was happy with the boards he crashed yesterday. We could definitely use more from him though.
Yeah, before last night, I was done with how he played in the other games before, like especially the first preseason game and first play, he just loses the ball off his foot. I'm like, oh, this isn't going to be good. But yeah, you got to take into account that he's coming off that foot surgery and he really didn't have, I think, a full training camp because he wasn't playing 5-on-5 during the summer. So when the training camp started, it was like his first time playing 5-on-5, and since the season had ended when he had that injury.
Mm-hmm.
So his play last night was encouraging that, okay, maybe there is something that Pat will show this year. Because he grabbed 6 rebounds, and is that his career high for rebounds?
You remember when he had his brother on the pod? And you remember that? And we challenged. Yeah. He was talking about challenging Pat to get a season high or a career high of anything. Remember that?
Yep, on his brother's birthday.
Yes. Maybe we should revisit that for anybody that didn't see that. But he ended up, what did he end up doing? It was
I don't think it was a great performance at all.
no, it was not a great performance. It was a bad performance. I think he hit it was something about it was all turnovers that game. But long story short, he did not hit said goal. Not even close.
No, but he grabbed 6 rebounds last night. Shot that 3 with confidence. Put Gobert on a poster. But the reigning defensive player of the year. So I don't know because Pat will always show us flashes in certain games and then he just disappears again.
To revisit that episode for anybody that didn't see it, his brother also spoke about how Pat has always been like that. So it's nothing new. It's nothing new to him being in the league, in the NBAs, and in the pros. He's, I guess, just always been the way he's been, where he's like deferred to others. And how his brother described it is that he plays unselfish. So he doesn't care about stats. He just wants to find the open person and allow them to do their thing. So I don't know. That's something that's always been in him since he was a kid. They said since throughout high school, they all played together, just being kids on the court. So hopefully there is something in him that ignites, that changes that a bit. Because if that's how you've always been, he's been with the Bulls for how many years now? I just hope that mentality changes a bit because we definitely need that from it. 14?
Yeah, that's like 14. What was this? Was this the game?
I missed that game.
Like game 81 or 82 where like everybody was out but Pat and Pat just like went balling.
Do we need to fact check that, Morris? For real, wait, when was that game? 14. Wow, 14. Okay. Sorry, Pat. I was not familiar with your game.
Now put some respect on his game for that one.
But now that we know that you can do it.
Yeah. It's like, can you grab more than 2 a game? It's like you're one of the tallest guys out there, power forward. Come on, man. We need that effort. We need just go out there and ball. Like you said, he's overthinking. Just do it. If it feels right, do it. And you get the ball, shoot it. Don't think, should I take this shot? Should I pass it? Just shoot it.
I've already lowered my expectations on Patrick too. I don't think we're going to see anything too different. Although I hope for that. As much as people have tried to poke him and probe him and mentor him, DeMar in a major way, and DeMar has mentored Kobe. And you've seen the difference in Kobe's play. You've seen how he's elevated and ascended into the stars. And DeMar spent that time with Patrick too, and we're still seeing him where he's at. So again, I don't have high expectations from him, and I think that's our problem.
It was his rookie season that he snagged 14 boards against OKC, January 15, 2021. Rookie Pat was different.
What changed?
I guess it was no expectations. He wasn't on any type of scouting report.
We weren't calling him Kawhi Jr.
Yeah, Paul.
Paul.
Stacey named him. Steven says, I'm curious how the assistant coaching shakeup impacts the team. Unseld Jr. had a solid bit of winning experience as an assistant, and defense was his knack, in particular with Denver in 2020. Well, from all what I know is that they've said Billy has handed like the defensive schemes, at least for preseason, over to Unseld. No, they wanted to implement a new style of defense to where they're focusing on not allowing so many 3-pointers from the other team. No, they
were really known for that. People putting 3-point clinics on us. How many times are records broken against our defense last season? A lot. I wish we could probably look that one up too. But yeah, carry on.
But they said Billy was not at practice today because he had an illness. So the media was fielding questions to Unseld. So I don't know if Billy decides to step down because nobody really gets fired in the Bulls organization. You get secret extensions and you get put in special advisor roles, but you typically don't get fired. So, if Billy steps down, Wes Unseld probably will become the head coach.
You saw that betting stat. I'm sure that he was the most likely to be fired.
Yeah, people are like most likely to step down because
Yeah,
our front office. Shout out to Morris. I know he has articles talking about that on the On Tap, Sportsnet.com.
Especially the hiring of his son. Like, he's not going nowhere. I mean, he may not get fired, but hopefully he steps down. But to be continued.
Correction, Pat's career rebounding high occurred against the Spurs March 17, 2021. I don't think the Spurs had anybody like a Wemby to be down there when Pat got those rebounds. So that might have answered the question.
Was it still 14, Morris? I could just look it up.
It's probably still 14. I'll give a young unknown Pat 14. Probably trying to get playing time. He was out there hustling on the boards.
That's when he was the paw.
He has not been the paw since then, Melissa.
That's right. That was 14 boards, he said.
Yeah, 14 boards.
Well, anyways, how are you feeling about the season?
Hey, I'm here for it. Like
always.
Not just like always, but we got a young youth movement. Young Bulls are running. Zach looks like all-star Zach. Kobe had an amazing game last night. He had 23 points on 9 shots.
Yeah.
Got to the line 6 times. Clearly learned how to do that from DeMar. And he was knocking his threes down.
Mm-hmm.
People were questioning, how would Kobe fit with Giddey and being off ball again, and so far so good. Yeah, but like we've got a youth movement. The team seems fun. If we don't win enough games, great, because we keep a draft pick. If we do, I mean, it kind of means that this team is better than what people were expecting. So I know people want the draft pick, but it's kind of a win-win situation either way it goes. How you feel about it?
I feel the same way. I have never been a fan of like tanking intentionally ever. So I feel the same way. I'm just happy that the Bulls actually picked a direction. Of course, very sad that DeMar is no longer with us, but it had to happen. And now we actually have a direction. Now this whole youth movement thing and the whole style of play where it's just flow and high paced and a lot of transition offense too. I'm happy they picked a direction. And that's all I really have to say. I'm just happy I just know that we are going to be better than projected. We're not going to be good enough, but we are definitely going to be better than projected. And I was really interested to see how Giddey would fit in with the group, and so far so good.
Yeah, so we all would be talking a lot about Kobe's shooting offsetting Giddey's ice cold shooting last night, if not for Lonzo's awesome return.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Giddey shot 1 of 11 last night.
Yeah.
He had 9 assists. But yeah, like he bricked a layup.
I feel like that's got to be mental for him because you know how he's spoken about how he reads everything online too and about other things outside of basketball. So I feel like the fact that he even spoke on that, I think I think he'll be fine. I think he just has to break out of that mentality and move past the noise. But yeah, that was rough. He had a very rough shooting game last night.
I
Quite
mean,
frustrating.
it happens. Uh, he still at least was able to make an impact with 9 assists, but
Mhm.
you can kind of, I would think, this season kind of expect those nights from Giddy where his shooting is pretty much non-existent.
Mhm.
So hopefully you got Kobe going off and Zach going off, and you got Julian knocking down threes in the corner. Um,
And maybe even Pat.
maybe Pat. Oh, maybe you got Modest in the post getting some buckets. Like, as much as this new team has made me like not really have a problem so far with Billy and his coaching, which is amazing in its own right. My only nitpick so far has been seeing Modest being stuck in the corner way too much because he is not a established shooter yet. And shout out to Modest because he's taking them with confidence. Like, I'm just shoot it. And that's the mentality you want him to have, but he can cut, he can slash. Like, do not do what you did to Laurie Marketing with Modest. That's all I'm asking, Billy.
I kind of I'm kind of not mad at it because I know we don't have high expectations for this season. I feel like this is the season where they really should be like working on the skills that they lack, and we knew that that was something that he lacked. That's something that he needs to work on. So I'm not entirely mad at it. We know what he's really good at, and he should definitely be doing more of that too. So it would be nice to have a little bit of a variety. But if he's going to have to learn how to shoot to add that skill set to his game, I guess this is the season to do it. And I don't really know how much I credit Billy for a lot of these things. He's been drawing up plays a bit more last season. But based off of like the press conferences and stuff, it still kind of seems like random, quote unquote random play. So I don't know. I'm not I'm not too mad. I'm not too mad at it because if you're gonna be bricking, get that out of your system now until your skill set gets better with those knockdown threes.
Yeah, I'm not an X's and O's person, so I can't like specifically name what Billy has been running. I know one is like a pistol play, and you can see him over there on the bench making the gun sign for them to run
Mhm.
that. Stephen Noah breaks that down
So good.
great on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, he's been calling a little bit of stuff. It's not just that random
Random.
bullshit. So
I mean, you're happier with him this season,
I
possibly.
maybe. I mean, it's preseason, so we'll
This was
see when the
a
games start to
good
count
overreaction. Uh-huh.
and my blood pressure actually rises because you're preseason. I'm like, I really don't care if they win or lose this game. You take the good away from it, you see what they're lacking, and you move on. But it's all different once the regular season starts next Wednesday in New Orleans.
Yep.
Definitely at the home opener, I'm sure my blood pressure will be rising.
The home opener is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be sad seeing Alex in an opposing jersey, but that'll be a lot of fun to see him back at the United Center regardless.
Right. I'm sure they'll give him a welcome back video. So,
Yeah.
you do get to see that. Just like we're looking forward to January 4th, where they're going to honor youngest MVP in NBA history still to this day, Derrick Rose.
Iconic, man. He was special. I looked for those tickets, and I got to start saving all my pennies now.
Yeah, I'm sitting there like, I don't know how I'm going to make this happen because these tickets are insane. I got to buy a flight out there, hotel.
They were like 180-ish for like nosebleed.
Yeah,
I can't take up there, but it's okay.
Definitely going to try, man. It's Derrick Rose.
Anyways, we should talk about what we're looking for, what we're looking to do for like the rest of the season on the pod.
Yeah,
like how we're going to incorporate fans.
Exactly. This is going to be the #1 Bulls community podcast. So, if you want to come on and chat with us for a few minutes about the Bulls, hit either one of us in our DMs, and we will try to schedule you in to jump on and tap in with us.
I'm by far no means an expert. I'm just like a sicko Bulls fan. So this is perfect. Like, we just want to engage with the community as always. So if any of you guys ever want to pop on the podcast, like Derek said, just hit us in the DMs. Our plan is to highlight people in the community, have them join the pod. So yeah, we're just going to get to know more people within the community. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. There are a lot of really cool people in the community. That's how I met Derek. I met Derek through Twitter. I met Morris through Twitter. Obviously, everybody in the chat, I've all met through Twitter. So this is like a great opportunity to connect everybody and highlight how special this fan base is. So I'm really excited about that. That's something that we've been wanting to do and just didn't really get around to doing. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to get to know some personalities within the fan base a bit closer.
Right. Like, you can come on, talk about current team. You could talk about how you became a Bulls fan. We just went, as Morris said, tap in, Bulls fans. We want y'all to tap in with us. Me and Melissa were talking about this before us taking this Bulls on Tap pod. We wanted to focus more so on the community, and shout out to Morris for putting us on with On Tap's CEO Tony. Shout out to him too. Our goals aligned to be more community based. So we are really here for the Bulls community because it's outstretches everywhere. We got Neil in the chat over in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter.
How did we meet Morris? We had him on our pod. Like, hello, that's so cool. And now he's writing and doing all this really cool stuff. Like, and he started hopping on other pods. I know he was on C Red UK's pod too, and it's just really cool. This community is really dope. So would love to see y'all. Love to have you guys on. Hit us in the DMs and get cute for the camera.
Yep, definitely hit us up. Bulls are back in action tomorrow for a final preseason game against the Cleveland Cavaliers. By all means, Lonzo Ball is going to play again. So we'll see how he holds up after a second game and after playing and then a light practice, and we're going to see what's going on with it. Steven, undefeated Bulls drip between y'all two always. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks, Steven. Fans come on the pod. Ask Derek what he thinks about it. Why don't you just answer that question right now?
Bleep. Right. But I don't. It'll be a very 4-letter worded rant about the dog-faced gremlin that is known as Tony Brothers.
All right, I think that's a good place to end the show, huh?
Yeah. So yeah, Bulls Nation, and till next time we tap in.
Thank you, guys. Go Bulls.